Drone strikes are occurring at a rate of once every 4 days in Pakistan. Our most cowardly method of warfare yet, drones are operated at a game-like console from U.S. bases 7,000 miles away from human targets. In Pakistan alone, over 775 civilians were killed, called collateral deaths, between 2004 and 2011, including 168 children. Our Air Force men who remote control these missions are having a serious backlash of emotional and psychological problems. John Brennan, Assistant to the President for Homeland Security and Counterterrorism, lies when he says that our drones attack with, quote, surgical precision. Obama is on the slippery slope of bringing war to areas without even officially calling it war, and there is no end in sight to drone use. I, for one, cannot stand idly by, and I am calling Obama a murderer. He and any future presidents must be stopped from this unconscionable use of force. What is your stance on drones?
I don't think we should use them at all. That's not precision bombing. It's evident with the amount of killings that's happening from those. This is not a computer game. These are real people. And the people, our personnel that are sitting there at those consoles and doing that, they're 7,000 miles removed from what's happening. But now that they see the pictures of what's going on, and they're beginning to realize they're pawns in this. They have been given a little joystick and a little computer monitor and have at it. And what bothers me even more is they're now starting to use drones in the United States to spy on American people. We have to have hand-to-hand, face-to-face combat, or we have to stop all of this.
Okay, Santa?
Drones, I think, are a bad idea, and people tend to forget that once the drones are out there, like a lot of our other military equipment, it's very likely they're going to be used against us. And we claim to have a defense against them. There is a particular company that's working pretty well on that, but even law enforcement, in addition to the military, is going to have a problem with drones re-entering our country or being used against us. I think children who then become soldiers who have been playing these video games, very violent video games, are going to experience the same kinds of PTSD that our regular soldiers have right now who may or may not have ever played a video game. And particularly the people who are controlling the drones, I think, are extraordinarily susceptible to those kinds of feelings you brought up before.
Okay. God, I hope somebody watches these videos. You can't work in a vacuum forever.
And I agree with you. There's one thing, instead of the closing statement, there's one thing about the accountability issue. If presidents aren't being held accountable for their actions with respect to going to war or declaring war or even declaring something that looks like war but they're not calling it war, if our courts aren't able to handle it or the Congress doesn't have the guts to tackle it, then the only other real alternative is to join the International Criminal Court. And I'm not necessarily for that, but that's a body who actually can do that particular job that they've done before with other countries' leaders. And although I think that would be a last resort, I think presidents really ought to think about what they're doing, and Congress ought to be taking its responsibility seriously. Otherwise, there is going to be some sort of external review and some consequences for all this. So we can either do it ourselves, or ultimately it's going to be a world problem and situation that the rest of the world is going to address if we're incapable or unwilling to do it ourselves.
Basically, it's war crimes that they're committing that we're not holding them accountable for.
Right.
Right.
Yes, and it even goes into cyber terrorism.
Oh, sure. I mean,
we say other people shouldn't be doing that. What's up with that?
What is up with that?